Heat presses have been a very hot topic lately, and I know that there's a bunch on the market. You've seen a couple different ones on my channels, and I know that you're wondering which ones work best for what materials and what is the best price range when I'm going to invest in a press. If you're asking yourself any of those questions, stay tuned. I'm going to give you everything that I know about heat presses and what I would do if I was starting over. This type of heat press is my favorite. It's called a pull down or a manual press. You can adjust the pressure, which is amazing. Everything is digital on the top end, so you don't have to mess around with dials or any fuses in the back end. This one specifically is a Trans Pro 15 by 15. 15 by 15 means that this mat is 15 inches wide and 15 inches long. It's the best when you're using adult shirts, larger shirts, any type of pillows, things of a larger spectrum. You can use them for almost any material. This includes HTV vinyl, sublimation, and DTF prints. I know DTF prints are a big question, and this is what I would highly recommend if you are using any form of DTF or screen print transfers. The pressure is very important for those substrates, and with this press, you can get as accurate as possible. The next press that I personally have is the HTV Raw automatic press. I personally do love this press. However, I will say you cannot adjust the pressure settings, which is a really big downfall, especially if you're using thin materials for sublimation and or DTF prints. I've tried a million different ways to use DTF prints with the automatic press, and it just doesn't work. There is not enough pressure. It works absolutely wonderful for iron-on vinyl and heavier materials with sublimation. I will say I used to build a Canva, and because the mat is a little squishy on the bottom, it didn't give enough pressure and it turned out really light. If you're using sublimation, I highly recommend to press it for a little bit longer than manufacturer's instructions, just because you really want to make sure that pigment is fully getting saturated through the material. If we're comparing the two, I personally use this one because it's a little bit more diverse. I don't have to move one press over the other. They are extremely heavy, so I have personally kept this one on my desk just because it's more universal. I think for myself that if I was going to invest, I would go with the manual press. Nothing to say that the automatic press isn't great, because to be honest with you, having the automatic feature is so amazing. I only wish that I could change the pressure adjustment for the automatic press. Another key tip is this has a harder mat on the bottom, which is really nice to ensure that the pressure is fully sticking down. Whereas the automatic press has kind of a squishy mat, so it's not getting the full effect when it pushes down. There is a little bit of squish, which minimizes that pressure. I know in this video you've heard me say pressure about 500 times, but that is solely because in all of these projects with all of these substrates, pressure is number one to make sure you're achieving the best quality prints. If you're not getting the most pressure, you can get some air bubbles, you can get some lifting, and it's just going to be a problem later down the road. Now, please, if you take anything from this video, do not go out and purchase a very cheap one of these from Amazon. Hear me out. I know you're trying to save money, but I thought I was doing the same in the beginning. What I actually got was my house almost burnt down, horrible electrical issues, and I ended up wasting a lot more money reinvesting in 2 and 3 different presses rather than just investing in a nice press up front. These really are not expensive when you're investing into your business. If you think about it, this press can be used for years to come. So a $400 investment over time is very minimal, especially if you go off how many shirts you're pressing and how often you are using this. So for myself, if I was a beginner doing my research, I would definitely go with a high quality manual press. You can find these all over the market, and I do have a digital download available on our platform that you can download all of my information, exactly where I get it, the pros and cons, and all of the layout that you should know up front before purchasing anything.